Hey guys, it's Glowboarder here, and we're here to teach y'all the 10 most hated skateboarding tricks. All right, number one, my opinion, I think is pressure flip. Whew, I know you guys, I might get some hate for it. Hey, it's okay. But a pressure flip is not popping, not flicking, none of that in a trick. And I think of a skateboarding trick, you pop it, you flick it, you catch it. A pressure flip is literally in your toe. You find a little G spot, little groove spot, and you press it down nice and hard. That is a trick. I guess it is a skateboarding trick, but there is literally no sense behind it. So, I mean, I guess there is some sense because it's all in the pressure of the point of your foot and not the flick of your foot. I'm used to doing a kickflip where you flick it out and you just see it and you catch it. But the pressure flip, it's kind of just, and it's just a dud. Like when you about to kickflip and you just completely smoke the kickflip, that's what I think of a pressure flip. Some common reactions if you're playing skate and the homie pulls out a pressure flip, one's gonna probably be like, one might be like, man. One, you might just toss your board. One, you might even say, man, just give me the letter. I ain't even gonna try it. It happens because you could do pressure heel flip, you could do pressure, all kinds of different pressures, and I just feel bad sometimes, man. It hurts the soul to see a pressure flip. I'm not gonna lie to you, but they are cool, they are fun. So if you do them, I'm not discouraging you to do them. Keep on doing them. It's all about having fun, and if that's what makes you having fun, hey, pressure flip your life straight away.
Trick number 2, Willy Grind. Now, Willy Grind, you know, when people see it done, they tend to get a little bit angry. They have to try it themselves. They get a little bit angry as well. Let's kind of break down why the people do this. So what a Willy Grind is you ollie on backside, you go to do a crooked grind, but then you dip it all the way down and you keep it dipped. So I think the reason people don't particularly like this is because they're kind of just thinking, well, why am I have it dipped down? Why don't I just do a crooked grind? Then the way that you have to hold it dipped down too is it doesn't really feel that good. When you do a front Smith or a back Smith, your body's kind of in this nice position where you lock it in and you get to go along the obstacle in this nice stylish looking way. Willy Grind, it kind of loses all that and you just push it down. You feel bad, it looks bad. You could have just done a crooked grind and people tend not to like it. One positive I will say for Willy Grind is because you sag it all the way down, it can give you a lot more leverage. So you could do a Willy Grind up into another grind or a Willy Grind flip out if you want to get funky with it. But typically the homies do not like Willy Grind so much. Trick number 3, also known as your favorite beverage, the strawberry milkshake. This is a fantastic trick. You know, this is one of the first tricks that you can learn where the board does a big motion. It does this nice impossible wrap. You get it up in the air, flip it a bunch, boom, land on it. Amazing. You know, I got a little bit of love for strawberry milkshake, but it does fall into the category of one of the most hated tricks. All right, number 1 reason that I think people do not like this right off the get-go. The first step of a strawberry milkshake, boom, foot steps onto the ground. Skaters, when they're doing tricks, they tend to like their tricks up in the air, land back on the board. As soon as you start stepping on the ground, it's already beginning to get a little bit risky. But, you know, if you step nice and quick, it can be all right. But once the foot's down, some people, they're out. They got no more time for it. Number 8, my personal fantastic favorite trick that I love to do, double kickflip. Now, this one gets a lot of hate. I think there's multiple reasons, but if you're playing a game of skate against the homie, you said a double kickflip, you look at their face, they're instantly gonna be mad. They're gonna be angry, they're gonna be fired up, they're gonna be like, why did you do this to me? Why are you making me do a double kickflip? Now, all right, there's so many reasons why. I personally love double kickflips. People don't do them that much. I like do them into grinds, out of grinds, do them on flat, do some variations. I think it's fun, but I think these are the reasons that it's one of the most hated tricks. Number 1 is it completely ruins your shoes way faster. If you're trying to do a bunch of kickflips, then you start doing double flips, the way that you scoop on the grip, it takes so much of your shoe off. If you just spent 1 day doing double flips, you could completely annihilate a brand new pair of shoes with ease. So it really is a shoe killer. I think that's one of the reasons. Second reason is you gotta kick it really hard, and it takes a lot of physical exertion. You know, some tricks like 360 flip, they can be very physically demanding when you're first learning them, but once you get better at them, you kind of get better at leveraging the board and you can land it quite easily. Double flip, pretty much no matter how good you are at them, it always still takes this really big amount of energy. And then when you're putting in a big amount of energy like that, it kind of makes your body a little bit weird. Maybe the style's a little bit weird, so it doesn't look that good. So it's very energy taxing and doesn't really look that good. The next factor is primo. We think about the mathematics of doing a kickflip. How many chances you got to land primo? 1, 2. You're going to do a double kickflip. How many chances you got to land primo? 1, 2, 3, 4. You doubled your chance of landing primo. The board's flicking harder, you're jumping harder, you're gonna land way harder on it, and then you're gonna get this annoying primo from the double flip. So I think that is absolutely another reason why people do not like them. You wanna know what's hated from varial flip? Why did you do a varial flip? Do a tray flip. You could have just done a tray flip. Why did you do a varial flip?
Hey everyone, we're here for number 4, the Varial Kickflip, potentially the most hated trick in the history of all skateboarding. And I'm not the right person to be doing this because I happen to be the only person in the world trying to hashtag keep varial flips alive. Ain't that right, Rick?
Keep them dead.
I don't even know why varial flips are that hated. I had to ask. So I got a couple ideas from Ricky and from Chris and from Uzi, and I'm gonna go ahead and just read off this list because I don't agree with them and I don't think you should agree with them. You should build your own opinions, everyone. So the one reason that Ricky provided is that it is easier to do a tray flip than it is to do a varial flip. I contraire. But I could see where he's coming from. When you're learning how to tray flip, it is a lot of back foot. You have to scoop really hard. There's a whole different flick to it. Learning tray flips, it's your first really real advanced trick that you're doing. And once you get that down, it's really hard to kind of go back and like kind of relearn the flick and the pop of a varial flip because it actually is quite different from just doing a tray flip on its own. So yes, I do understand where Ricky is coming from. What I will say to this is that if you just keep practicing and you do everything and you practice every trick, then you can just be good at everything. So that's all I'll say about that. JD just provided the second reason why varial flips are hated, because they look bad. And I will agree with this to a certain extent. If you never do varial flips and you're only popping tray flips and other flip tricks, if you just do a varial flip in a game of skate or toss it in a line or something like that, it's gonna look bad, all right? Because you do kind of have to practice getting the good pop and the good flick and all of that. So if you're just tossing it, it's probably not gonna look good, and I understand that. I understand why people would dislike it. However, again, I will say, and I say this a lot, if you don't like varial flips, it's probably because you can't do them well enough. So just go out there and practice. Get those varial flips better, and like JD said, varial flips usually look bad, but not mine because I practice them a lot and I got them down. At me. He said, what does varial even mean? Who knows at this point? That is a great point. Another good reason why varial flips are kind of looked down upon, I will speak on this with my own experience. It was my very first flip trick. I learned varial flips before I even learned how to kick flip. So a lot of people see varial flips as the first technical stepping stone into more advanced skating and more advanced flip tricks. So a lot of people look down on it as if, oh, you do a varial flip, that was your first beginner flip trick, and now as you're an advanced skater, you're still doing that? Why are you still doing that? But seriously, don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to other people. You are your own skater. You are your own person. What you enjoy about skateboarding is what you make it. So go out there, do whatever you want, and don't listen to what anyone else thinks. You have a good time, and that's all that matters. Hashtag keep varial flips alive. It may be one of the most hated tricks, but it's my most loved trick. Let's get it.
How's everybody? So the 5th most hated trick, in my opinion, it's really sick, but depends where you do it. It's the boneless. So the boneless is where you take your foot off. That's the first red flag. There's no flip into it, and it just doesn't look good on street. Sorry if you do it on street, but like on vert, it is sick. Now there's so many ways you can do it. You can tweak it, you can grab tuck knee, stink bug, switch, but on straight it just looks so bad. But if you do tweak it, it might look a little bit better. Now the reasons why it is hated is because 1, obviously, you take your foot off the ground, off your board and put it on the ground. The first red flag, not on street. Nobody likes that. All right, and then the second reason is because you grab. You don't really grab in street. You don't grab anything. You don't grab your board. I mean, sometimes you do, but rarely. It is a very good trick to learn because it'll help you with a lot of other tricks and how to like jump and stuff, but honestly, it's not the greatest. And you know what makes it even worse? If you do a boneless finger flip. 2 of the most hated tricks into one trick.
All right, guys, number 9, most hated trick, Benihana. I don't know what the hate for Benihana is, because you know what? I think they're sick. I was never able to do them, never even thought about doing them, never even crossed my mind. And then one day we're at Woodward, and I tried it, figured it out, and now it's my go-to trick. That's the only trick I do ever now is Benihana. You know what else? I think they're sick. I don't know. Some people hate them. I think it's because in street skating, grabs are looked down upon most of the time. If you do a grab, someone sees your hand, touch the grip tape, they're canceling it. I could see where they're coming from because street skating, it's all about the flips, the grinds, all that. But you know what? Let's just make an exception. Benihana, come on. They're sick. And you know what else? I love Benihanas. I eat a Benihanas. Who doesn't love Benihanas?
All right, trick number 6. No complies. Personally, I think this is kind of a cool looking trick. You can do it really nice and smooth, make it look really good in between your lines and stuff like that. But I think it mostly gets a hate because your foot is on the ground. So what it is you step off the board with one foot, plant it, and then you use your back foot to pop it up and do either an ollie or like a 180. There's all kinds of variations. But just a regular no comply is just an ollie. And I just feel like people think that this trick requires 0 skill. So when people do it, it's not really that cool or impressive to them. I think they're pretty hard, to be honest, especially if you're just doing the straight no comply. I think 180 no complies are a bit easier, but it just stems from the fact that they're easy to learn when, in my opinion, they're not so easy. And the fact that your whole foot's on the ground, I think that kind of like takes some value away from it. But as far as that goes, I think they're a pretty cool looking trick. I don't do them very often unless they're backside 360 variation, but other than that, I don't think no complies deserve the hate that they get. That's pretty much all I have to say about no complies. All right, trick number 8, hospital flip. This is another trick I don't understand why it gets all the hate, because I think visually it's a pretty nice trick. I think it requires skill to do pretty well too. I think people just want to hate on tricks for no reason sometimes. If they are bad at a trick, the homie does them really well in games of skate and they always get letters on it, of course they're gonna have a bone to pick with that trick. But what it is, it's basically like a half kickflip and then your front foot actually wraps the board around like a shove it and comes back. So it's pretty technical, you know, no feet on the ground, there's a half flip, there's a spin. There's a lot going on. Like I said, I think they're a really cool trick. I think if you're trying to get your homies letters in games of skate, you should learn hospital flip. They won't be very happy with you, but I think you'll be happy with yourself because you're out here doing a really nice looking technical trick. And if people are gonna hate on you for it, just tell them to get better. Tell them to learn the trick. That's pretty much all I have to say about hospital flips. Go out and learn them, they're fun. If somebody says that trick's for posers, then you ignore them and never talk to them again. Shout out Brian Arnett, we're doing number 10, body varials. If you don't know what a body varial is, it's basically when you're riding one way and you jump and turn 180 and end up another way. So start out regular, jump 180, end up goofy. You can do this while you're just rolling, and that's like kind of basic, whatever. But if you really want to, you know, make it better, you do an ollie and then body varial in the air. And once again, I do not understand why this is a hated trick, but the skateboard community is kind of a weird entity. Just a lot of opinions, a lot of opinionated people, and for some unfortunate reason, body varials are in the category of hated skateboard trick. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bonus most hated skate trick, number 11. I'm gonna let Rick take it over from here. By the way, all the tricks that I don't think any of these tricks should be hated. That's just my opinion. I think all skate tricks are amazing.
All right, well, we completed our list, but I had to come back for a bonus one. I can't believe we didn't shout this out earlier, but we're gonna say late tricks, late shove, late flip. People do not like these. Shout out to Brian Arnett, the king of the late tricks. But it's interesting because some of the late tricks get a little bit of love, but then others, they really, really, really are not liked. But I do like late tricks. I think they're cool, but we had to give them the honorable mention in this video. So those are the most hated tricks. We hope you enjoyed this list. Let us know, were we wrong about some of these tricks? What is your favorite one? What are the tricks that you hate? Please tell us in those comments below. There are some videos right there. Subscribe, like, leave it in all those comments below. Want you to learn how to skateboard, and we have everything you need on the Braille Army Plus membership.